This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, join me, Rob McConnell, on the X-Zone TV show, coming soon to screens of all sizes. On the X-Zone TV show, we'll investigate UFOs, ghosts, alien abductions, demonic possession, psychic phenomenon, angels, lake monsters, Bigfoot, unsolved mysteries, and all subject matter from within the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology, and much, much more. The X-Zone TV show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, www.xzonetv.com, is a rel-mar McConnell media company and Airplay Media production. Unwilling to be the government's deadly assassin, gifted psychic Kahara Mitchell went AWOL and ended up buried under rubble in the wake of a great tsunami. She regained consciousness far from Earth on the medical ship of a Daguerreonian intergalactic fleet. Has she been rescued or abducted by aliens? The Chalice of Carrie, Kahira O'Donnell's latest paranormal science fiction romance, is the passionate story of an Earthwoman and her destined mates, twin kings from another galaxy. Kahara uses her gifts fighting alongside Lords Rom and Ra in a war that will determine the destiny of galaxies. The Chalice of Carrie by Kahira O'Donnell is now available at KahiraO'Donnell.com or at Amazon.com.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Now, if you'd like to send me an email, the email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. You can always give us a call here. We have a 1-800 number that is good worldwide at 800-610-7035. And you can listen to us 7/24/365 on our main website for the X-Zone Radio Show at www.xzoneradiotv.com. My guest this hour is a young lady I've had the pleasure of knowing for many years now. Her name is Jill DAHNE, and X-Zone Nation, if ever you have doubted the credibility of a psychic or someone who claims to have psychic ability, and you've gone to them and you've figured, oh, all psychics are alike, this lady is the real McCoy. You know, folklore has it that psychic ability is hereditary. Jill DAHNE is living proof. As the daughter of the renowned psychic Mickey DAHNE, Jill has demonstrated a world-class ability of her own all over the world, as well as on this very show. Jill is in the 100 Top Psychics in America, the Most Amazing Teenage Psychic in America, as well as in Ripley's Believe It or Not. Now, named one of the top 5 psychics by Woman's Own Magazine and American Woman's Magazine, Jill has also been written up by the Miami Herald, Baltimore News, National Enquirer, The Globe, The Star, and a host of other publications. She has predicted over 750 marriages and in 1992 predicted on television that in 1998 President Clinton would be involved in a sex scandal. Now, she also predicted his re-election. Joining me now is the one and only, the world-renowned love psychic herself, Jill Dahne. And Jill, welcome back to the X Zone.
Thank you for having me again. You are my favorite.
My
favorite. It's true.
I'm blushing again. Jill, I want to share something with the X Zone Nation. Now, ever since I've known you, you've always told me that I remind you of a broadcaster.
Larry King.
Okay. Now, as you know, Jill, we've just finished our first season of our new TV show called The X Zone TV Show. And the producer and director, Steve Benedict, sent me over the script for a sizzle. And for those of you who don't know what sizzle is, this is something that production facilities and production houses send to other networks as a pitch to take the series. And I called up Steve after I got the sizzle, and I said, "You're not going to believe this, but I have a lady who years ago told me something that you've put in your script." Now, Jill, there's no way that he could ever have heard what you and I have discussed. Okay? No. He's got me doing a voiceover in studio, a voiceover in camera, and then for the announcer's voiceover, he said, I'll just read a part of it. It says, a syndicated newspaper journalist, radio host, and TV personality, as well as author and publisher, Rob McConnell has been called the Larry King of the paranormal.
Oh, my God. See, that's who you are.
Now you see,
you are yourself, and you are amazing.
Oh.
And the one thing is, like I said, you belong on the big screen. You belong nationwide, and I do still see it. I still see it happening.
You know, I've had, I don't know how many psychics, mediums, clairvoyants here on this show over the last 23 years, Jill. But I can say this, X Zone Nation, with all sincerity and all honesty, just based on this statement alone that came from Steve Benedict, the director, who wrote a script that I had nothing to do with. He came up with the phrase, the Larry King of the paranormal. That's not a coincidence. In my book, that was a prediction that has been documented. And Jill, I'm going to send you a copy of this, because to me, when I saw this and I'm reading it, I just started laughing, and I ran upstairs and I showed my wife, who is one of your greatest fans, by the way. She said, if anybody could get it right, it would be Jill.
Yeah, your vision of its own, though. You know that. You're surreal. And it's true. It's true. The first time I was on the air with you, I was like, wow, because I was on radio with Larry King when I was 15, and many times, and with my mother, Mickey Dane.
Right.
And when I heard your voice and the way you speak and the way you conduct yourself, you are beyond better in my eyes.
Sweetheart, you and I have to take our first commercial break. Great having you back home, and thank you very much for those wonderful comments. X Zone Nation, Jill Dahne is my special guest. www.jilldahne.com. We'll both be back on the other side of this 2-minute break. Don't go away.
How would you like to be able to read other people's minds? Well, the next best thing is here. When you know how to read a person's name, you know how the person thinks, feels, and behaves. Each letter in our name holds a key to unlock our true essence. Our name contains both our gifts and challenges in this lifetime. Nemology science discovers personality secrets hidden in the placement of the letters of our names, including the first and last impression people remember about us. Sharon shows us how to interpret the arrangement of letters as outlined in her book, Know the Name, Know the Person. Sharon Lynn Wyeth created nemology science after 18 years of research and testing her theories, and has supported thousands of people around the world in understanding themselves and others better. You'll enjoy Sharon's unique teachings as she shares her system to learn the gifts behind your given birth name. Even if you don't like your birth name, there are jewels in this book. If you're thinking of changing your name, ready to name your child, or wanting to get along better with others, this is the book for you. If you'd like to improve your relationships and change your life for the better, get the book today, Know the Name, Know the Person, or visit www.knowthename.com. That's www.knowthename.com. Rob McConnell here, presenting an overview for Nicholas Paul Jennings, author of a fascinating book, Amen. It presents facts revealed by Egyptologists, facts that enable us to understand why Amen is the beginning of creation of God. It provides recommendations for religious leaders of the major religions to unify their beliefs and teach the Word of God. Love one another. Amen informs people how mankind conceived God. It was the Egyptians that developed the concepts of a soul, a hereafter, and Son of God. And finally, after the worship of many gods, they conceived the belief in one universal God, the maker of all there is. For more information, visit www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, join me, Rob McConnell, on the X-Zone TV show, coming soon to screens of all sizes. On the X-Zone TV show, we'll investigate UFOs, ghosts, alien abductions, demonic possession, psychic phenomenon, angels, lake monsters, Bigfoot, unsolved mysteries, and all subject matter from within the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology, and much, much more. The X-Zone TV show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, www.xzonetv.com, is a rel-mar McConnell media company and Airplay Media production. Welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. Jill Dahne is my very special guest this hour. It's always great having Jill on the show. JILLDAHNE.com is her website. And Jill, what are some of the predictions that you did recently that shocked the world again?
Well, I was on my show, and on my show just recently I said, everyone can make predictions about earthquakes, but I feel today there's going to be an earthquake in Japan. And as soon as we hung up that night, there was a major earthquake in Japan. But, Johnny Depp getting married, Justin Timberlake getting married and now having a baby, like I had said. I also just predicted last year for this year that I saw Hillary Clinton and Jeb Bush running against each other, and they both just announced that they're going to be running. There's so many besides celebrity predictions that I do all the time. From December until this March, I predicted 70 marriages that happened from December till March 28th, and the last one that was March 28th, it was amazing. This girl came to see me, and she says, "I'm not getting married, Jill. When am I going to get married? Everyone's getting married, and I'm from India, and we have to get married." So I said, "I see an Urvid coming into your life," and I said, what sign he was going to be. 6 months. I haven't met Urvid. I'm in New York doing a lecture, and she says, texts me and says, I met Irvid. Oh, my God. Then this past October, I'm in New York doing lectures and television. She says, Jill, you are blanking amazing. And I was like shocked that came out of her mouth.
Right.
And she said, a curse word. And I never thought it would come from her. She said, I was in Greece. He got down on his knees. I'm engaged.
Oh.
And their wedding was March 28th and 29th in India to Irvid. So that was my 70th wedding prediction for this year. That's what I love.
You're the love psychic. You must. How do you get these impressions, Jill? Do you get them just out of the blue? Do you have to do any preparation for it?
I don't do any preparation. I have to relax, clear my mind. I just, on the phone 3 weeks ago, I had a certain police station on the phone with me, and they couldn't solve a case for the past 2 years. Just over the phone, I gave detailed information. The case is solved.
Wow.
That amazes me. That's what I love to do. But, marriage predictions, world predictions, like stem cell, I said it on your radio.
Yep.
Because I was on City TV in Toronto back in '89, and I kept saying, I see cloning and I see stem cell and embryonic stem cell, and it's going to help paraplegics, AIDS, bone marrow cancer, whatever, like everything that you can imagine, it's going to help. And that's what happened. That's what's happening now. And the cloning, they're making ears and noses. But the one big prediction that is coming in is when I even said it on your show, but I said this back in 2000, I saw American Airlines bankrupt. Then I saw it merging, and everyone thought I was crazy. And then it merged with, and I kept saying U.S. Air, and everyone couldn't understand, where do you get U.S. Air from? And I said, buy the stock. It's at 34 cents. It's up to $55.
Wow. Yeah, how do you do it? Is there any scientific way or any scientific means that can put some semblance into this gift that you and your mother have?
I believe everyone all over the, every single person has intuition. Mm-hmm. It's just that some people second guess their intuition. They don't follow their intuition. So if everyone just followed their intuition, it's like if they see someone in their life not right for them,
right.
Let's say dating, and their intuition and they see the red flags, that means walk away. But instead, they stay in it, and their intuition's telling them different. Mm-hmm. I believe everyone is. The only reason why mine, I feel, is stronger and my mother's is stronger, and there's amazing intuitives like Sean Robbins, and there was Sybil Leek, may she rest in peace, and Dorothy Allison. They all were unique in their own way, is because I've used it since I was a child. Some people are, I say, coming out now, and they're using it now. So the more you use it and more you trust your intuition, I'll say trust your intuition, the stronger your intuition becomes. And a rabbi in Israel said to me that there are so many people that are chosen. And he said to me, Jill, I believe you were one of the chosen ones. I don't know if that's correct, but this is what he said to me back in 92. His name was Rabbi Kadori, and he was the highest rabbi. But I have rabbis that fly in from Israel. I have nuns. I have priests. Mm-hmm. I have Monsignor priests. I must be doing something right.
I think your honesty, integrity, and your love for people has a lot to do with it, Jill.
That's what I do. I love people, and I'm very blunt. Mm-hmm. Some people may not like, when you say, oh, this person's not for you, because who wants to hear that when you're in love with someone?
Yeah.
But I also give back, and every one of my lectures I do goes to children. I just did a whole huge lecture in New York, and every cent went to Bangladesh in India, Bangladesh. And that said, these families, because the money is more, when American money's more, so at least they got to eat for at least a year, if I could say, with the amount that I made.
Right.
And I wish everyone would pay it forward once in a while, even if it wasn't just money. Do something nice for someone. When you're good to people, it comes back.
You reap what you sow, or you sow what you reap. Whatever that saying
That's
is.
true. Yeah, whatever that saying is.
How's your son?
How's Canada, though?
Canada is great. I love Canada. I'm a proud Canadian. We compared to what's going on in the U.S. today, like I've been watching the news feeds out of Baltimore and other cities, I'm having a hard time understanding people, because here you've got the city of Baltimore who wanted the officers held responsible for Freddie Gray to to be brought to justice. Today, the attorney or the state prosecutor charged 6 police officers, 3 black, 3 white, with serious crimes. Tonight, there's rioting, and the people are not complying with a curfew. So how does this all fit into the big picture as Jill Dahne sees the world through the world of predictions?
I'm sorry to say, but there's going to be some other states that are going to go through the same situation.
Wow.
And they're only ruining their own towns and state by doing that. They have to clean, what are they going to do with stores, what they're doing to stores? It's a shame. It's a shame. Instead of letting these people get prosecuted for what they have done, don't ruin your town. And that's why Canada is so different. It really is. Did medical marijuana get passed there yet?
Yes.
It did.
Yeah.
That was one of my predictions.
Way back when,
I had said in 2009, that was another big thing. 2009, I said medical marijuana and gay marriages will pass. And everyone looked at me like I was crazy. They're like, what are you smoking? And I don't do drugs. But I said it will, and it's going to help epilepsy. It's going to help many, many, many people out there, and with cancer as well. Mm-hmm. And what happened was, I said for this past year, I said gay marriages will pass in Florida. I see medical marijuana passing in Florida for 2016.
2016.
2016.
Yeah, it's not that far off.
And gambling is going to pass in 2020.
Wow.
Not the Indians. Then they're going to have to pay taxes.
Sure. Yeah.
But I believe. But the one wonderful thing is, since I was 20 years old, mm-hmm. I've been saying that Cuba is going to be paradise. I said it on your show.
Yes.
I said it's going to be free, where people are going to be able to fly over there. And I told everybody, save your money. That's where you want to buy real estate before Oprah and Donald Trump gets involved. And right now, Americans can buy through other people. I had someone that bought for $2,000 10 acres of land.
Wow.
So yeah, and can you imagine when it does get, when it really gets to be paradise, what that land's going to be?
Maybe I should look at investing in property in a house in Cuba.
Yes, 100. Rob, remember my words on this. I've been saying it since I was 20 years old, when these Cubans came into a store that I owned part of. Mm-hmm. And I said, I spoke Spanish fluently then, and I said, where did you guys come from? It looks like you don't eat. And they said to me, Cuba, we got off the boat. And I sent them upstairs, and I said, give them steak, whatever. I want you to feed them. And they ate, and that's when I made that prediction. I said, Cuba is going to be paradise. And I said, and I kept that prediction going on TV, radio, newspapers. I didn't want that prediction to go away. And I said, Castro will not be here by 2010. So I don't believe he's here. I don't care what the news, I don't care what the TV says. I still don't believe he's alive. He would never allow this to happen. But now people are allowed to fly over to Cuba.
Yep.
You're allowed to bring more money. Before, you couldn't even spend money there. You couldn't even fly there. Now you could spend $2,000, and it's going to be paradise. And that's been my prediction. And that's a very big prediction, because that could never happen. If you talked about that 10 years ago, like I did,
right.
Everyone, my Cuban clients would say, Jill, to your mouth to God's ears, it's never going to happen. You know what they're saying now? We love you.
We love you too, Jill. We've got to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. JillDahne.com is Jill's website, and Jill and I will be back on the other side of this break here in the X Zone. Don't go away. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, join me, Rob McConnell, on the X Zone TV show, coming soon to screens of all sizes. On the X Zone TV show, we'll investigate UFOs, ghosts, alien abductions, demonic possession, psychic phenomenon, angels, lake monsters, Bigfoot, unsolved mysteries, and all subject matter from within the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology, and much, much more. The X Zone TV show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, www.xzonetv.com, is a rel-mar McConnell media company and Airplay Media production.
Do you think you have energy problems in your home? Do you feel better when you're away than when you're home? Joey Korn is a global leader in the world of dowsing who specializes in personal energy clearing and space clearing. He can help you create an ideal energy environment in your home no matter where you live in the world. Learn about his remote spiritual house cleaning services and much more at www.dowsers.com. You can get Joey's book, Dowsing, A Path to Enlightenment, as well as other dowsing books and tools, Kabbalah books, and Walter Russell books. Joey's work is really amazing. Go to dowsers.com right now. That's DOWSERS.com, or call 1-877-DOWSING. That's 1-877-369-7464.
With each new extreme weather event or terrorist act, it becomes increasingly obvious that we live in uncertain and challenging times. We all buy car insurance. Why not collapse and catastrophe insurance? Matthew Stein, an MIT-trained engineer and green builder, has written 2 outstanding books to help people prepare, plan for, and deal with everything from minor situations lasting a few days to full-on collapse. Matt's first book, When Technology Fails, is a manual for self-reliance, sustainable living, and surviving the long emergency. This massive book covers the gamut from first aid and emergency preparedness to alternative healing, renewable energy, primitive living skills, and 18th century technologies that could be critical to your comfort and survival in a long-lasting crisis. Matt's second book, When Disaster Strikes, is a comprehensive emergency preparedness handbook and survival guide. When Disaster Strikes is an essential item for every family's go bag. Both books are available at all usual sources. There's a wealth of totally free information posted at whentechfails.com, and author-signed copies may be purchased at mattstein.com. That's www.whentechfails.com and www.mattstein.com. Jill Dahne is my special guest this hour. She is the love psychic. And I must tell you that, as I was saying earlier in this hour, and I've said it on air, I've said it off air, that Jill Dahne is the real thing. And her website, once again, is JillDahne.com. Jill, when it comes to the world of politics, I know that you predicted the let me see, how should I say this delicately? The affair that President Clinton had. You've also been right on his election and re-election. So what do you see in the future? Do you see Hillary getting in? And if she does get in, is she going to have an affair on Bill?
I don't see her having an affair on Bill. I predicted Obama, that I saw Obama and then Obama again. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping, I want, if I could say Hillary Clinton, but I want it's not going to happen. I'm looking more toward Bush. Yes.
Wow.
And I love Hillary Clinton because I love Bill Clinton, and if she became president, Bill Clinton would be in the White House again. I don't see her having an affair on Bill Clinton.
Would that mean Bill Clinton?
They really do love each other. Some people make mistakes in life.
Sure. I don't know anyone in this world, on the face of this earth right now, Jill, who hasn't made a mistake.
Yeah, everyone makes mistakes. Some people continue their pattern, and then they stop their pattern and they start a new chapter. And I believe they started a new chapter. Chelsea, in the Globe magazine, I predicted her marriage and baby, and she had the marriage and she had the baby, as well as the Kardashians. I kept saying, I still see a movie. I'm going to say that, a Kardashian movie. But I also predicted Kim's wedding and her meeting Kanye.
Right.
I also said that she was going to have a baby girl, and I see another child coming for this upcoming year for 2016. And my other prediction was Courtney getting married for this upcoming year as well. Sometimes you don't read the tabloids. Everybody looks at the tabloids and, they'll say this one's getting divorced and they're not getting divorced. They're really in love. Just like Justin Timberlake, when they didn't see him for a while, I kept saying because his wife's pregnant. And they were saying they're getting divorced. Well, they're very happily married. So sometimes you shouldn't watch the news or too much or read too many tabloids because sometimes it's not correct.
But in today's society, unfortunately, the kudo in the media is if it don't bleed, it don't lead. And it seems that people around the world, especially in the United States and Canada, that if it isn't gory, we're not interested.
I know, everything has to be gory.
Yeah.
When I had all these girls, and they were pregnant in their 40s, and they were watching a certain network, I'm not going to say, and I love her, but they were watching a certain network. And on that network, she had these doctors on, and the doctors were saying, you should not be pregnant in your 40s. And these women that were pregnant, they were my clients, they were about to give birth, and they're all calling. My phone would not stop ringing. And I said, turn the dial off. You're about to give birth. Yeah. And those same doctors that were on that network went on CNN, were saying, oh, it's wonderful to give birth in the 40s, 6 months later.
I used to get up and have my morning coffee and turn on the news to CNN. But I found it so depressing. So now what I do is I watch the comedy channel while I'm having breakfast and having my morning coffee.
There you go. Why don't we watch Rob McConnell and that's it? It's true. Everybody will be happy. Why watch doom and gloom? Watch happiness.
That's right. That's right. What are some of the major predictions that you can share with us for, let's say, the next 6 months to a year?
The next 6 months, well, I'm going to start with Florida.
Okay.
We'll say Florida. Florida, I've been saying there's a gentleman that follows me. So he's been following me for the past 7 years, and I kept saying no hurricanes in Florida. And I still don't see for this year a hurricane in Florida, and we haven't had them. I just tell everyone, cut your trees because there will be high winds. So that's just, if people are listening for Florida, because I know other people don't, they don't live here, but some have relatives here. Mm-hmm. There's going to be, if I could say, a pill that someone is going to be able to swallow. And it's going to detect everything in your system that if you're ill. So I see that coming out as well in the next, you could say, 6 to 9 months, a cream that is going to prevent cancer, skin cancer. And I believe the company MJNA, which I've been predicting, which is going to be huge as a stock by 2018, they're going to be the ones coming out with this cream. So when you go out in the sun, people could put it on and you will not get cancer. That's a very big deal. So many people are out playing golf, and you want to prevent yourself from the sun rays, because the sun rays are going to be very, very strong in every state. But there's still going to be crazy, crazy weather all over the world this year. This year is going to be like the craziest. You're going to see huge storms and major, people thought snow when I said it was going to snow in Florida last year, and it snowed in Florida. It's going to be crazy snow, crazy weather. But the one thing that's going to be good is a lot of people are going to be taking care of their health, and a lot of people are going to be living longer because of these certain vitamins they're going to be taking. You're going to see people living past 100 for the next couple, years to come, way past 100. So, Rob, I'll be talking to you when you're 120.
There are mornings I wake up and I feel as if I'm 120 already.
120. I said, I forgot what show I was on, and this was like 7 years ago. I said people are going to be able to live on Mars or in the moon, in Mars. And everyone thought it was crazy, and that's what they're starting right now. They're starting to build it up. So it's going to be life over there. So people are going to see a lot of new changes with the world. Like just for this year, they're going to see, I don't like doom and gloom. I'm one person that doesn't like doom and gloom. But it's like one state after another. But they're going to start training these police officers in a different manner so this doesn't happen many, many more times.
When it comes to the world affairs, what do you see in the war on terrorism when it comes to organizations like ISIS?
I kept seeing, when I was in New York and I was doing lectures, I kept seeing, this was back in March and in October last year, I kept seeing women. And that's what, and I believe it's going to come over to the U.S., but they're going to be able to stop them. And so far, there have been a few people they have stopped. I think we're stronger than the other people. We're above. We're going to thwart it, I guess you could say, thwart it before it happens. Thwart it before it happens. But you're going to see it's going to be a lot more women than men.
When you're out and about and you're talking to people that you have the pleasure of meeting, whether it's at an event or wherever, are you finding the questions that you're being asked are changing, or is it the same questions that people ask time after time after time?
They're usually time after time after time. But, when I was in New York doing lectures, and I was in another state doing lectures at the same time. I went from one state to the next. And I kept saying to, New York, and this is what they wanted to hear. I was like, why don't you fly back with me? I see a huge storm coming your way. And what they were more concerned about was, Jill, tell us about the terrorist attacks. And, forget the terrorist attacks. There's not going to be. Worry about the storm. And then the Sandy came in. And for the people that flew back to Florida with me, their houses, nothing happened to their houses. That was amazing. But that was a huge storm, and I was trying, that's what a prediction is.
Mm-hmm.
When you say, why don't you leave the state because it's not going to be good, they're all worried about terrorists. That's what a lot of people want to know more about, is terrorist attacks. And then they want to know about themselves. When I bring up a family member, I don't want to hear about the family member. I want to hear about me. Or I have these women that say, "Oh, Jill, when is my husband going to die so I could collect the money?" I'm like, "Oh my God, are you
you've
serious?"
got to be kidding!
Yeah, I was like, "Are you serious?" I said, "You know something? Your husband's going to live out longer than you." I can't. Some of these questions, I get are like absurd. When is my husband going to die? I was like, God forbid.
All right, that's a weird question to ask anybody, but what has been the most heart-wrenching question that you've ever been asked? The one that just got to you?
When somebody was dying and they wanted to know if they were going to live.
Oh, jeez.
And that was hard. I couldn't even talk. I was in tears. That got me in tears. Yeah, that was the heart. That got to me the most out of any person, because they're sitting in front of me.
Right.
And I don't tell people when they're going to die. I can't imagine anyone telling someone that. And they said, "Jill, how much longer do I have to live?" Because they had 4-stage cancer.
Oh, God bless them.
Yeah, but then I had someone in front of me that I said, get to the hospital. I see your stomach bloating. And next thing, she had 4-stage cancer with liver, and she went to Sloan Hospital in New York, and she's cancer-free. So, but that was the hardest on me, if I could say. That was the hardest.
Have you
and
ever...
the best, Rob,
Yeah.
you have to hear this.
Okay.
I'm heading to New York.
Yes.
And I have rabbis in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to the rabbi, get to the hospital. I'm about to get on the plane. And I said, get to the hospital. I want you to get your heart checked. And he said, I can't. It's Shabbat. This is Thursday. I'm leaving, Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I cannot drive. I said, please, get to the hospital. And so finally he agreed with me that he was going to go. I said, call me. I'll be landing at 9:30 in the morning. I'm on a 6 o'clock flight. Have your wife or someone call me, let me know what happened. So the doctor called me at 11 o'clock Florida time in the morning and said, you just saved the rabbi's life. He had a 3 bypass surgery with the valves.
Holy cow.
Yes. Is that amazing?
It is. It is.
I'm amazed because I love this rabbi so much, and I saved his life.
Do you ever think that you're an instrument that is being used by the powers to be?
That's what I believe. And I believe there's other people out there just like me. Just ordinary, everyday people.
Jill Dane, I very rarely disagree with you, but this is one time I will, because I don't believe in my heart of hearts there's another person out there like you.
Now I'm blushing. I'm blushing. But there are amazing people out there. There are some amazing people out there. There are people that are just, they're not on television, they're not on radio, they don't write for a newspaper, and they're just ordinary people. And I always tell everyone, if you see something, say it.
Yeah.
Or write it down and date it. And especially even in your dreams. Some people are so intuitive with their dreams that I'll say, keep a pad and a pen there, and when you wake up, write your dream down. There's a meaning to it. Mm-hmm. And so many people are so in tuned. They just need to fine-tune themselves, I guess you could say. Fine-tune themselves more when it comes to their abilities.
How would a person fine-tune their senses, Jill?
I never read books. I'm sorry. I get bored. Mm-hmm. Only books that there's a few that I've read that interest me. But I recommend read books, go to lectures, meditate. You know, some people should pray. You know, if you're stressed out, sit down, light a white candle, pray, meditate, and, you know, always say what you see. I always tell everyone, say what you see. Even if it sounds crazy to somebody, they should say what they see.
Jill, you and I have to go to our final commercial break in about a minute from now, but I've got, you know, I have to ask you, how's your mom?
Oh, my mother, she's doing phenomenal. She is 83 years old.
God bless her.
November, yes, she's going to be 84, and she's doing amazing, Mickey. Yeah, she's doing amazing. She just married a couple because she can marry people.
Yes.
And she just married my clients that I predicted their marriage. My mom married them. How amazing is that?
Anything that the DAHNE family does is not amazing. It's to be expected. Because I think the word DAHNE in some language must mean the unexpected.
Unexpected.
Jill, take care.
I like that.
Jill, stand by, dear. We've got to take our final break. Jill DAHNE is my special guest this hour, Exonation. JillDahne.com. That's JILLDAHNE.com. And Jill and I will be back on the other side of this short commercial break as we wrap up this hour here in the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.
What if someone told you could live to be 120? Would you believe him? What if he told you the Bible guaranteed it? All you needed to do was follow his rules and buy his products. Would you do it? What if you invested 20 years of your life in him? What if he tested his substances on your child? What if your child became brain damaged as a result? Meet Dr. Tyler Belknap, a fast-talking Texas admin turned health guru. At the helm of a vast health food and supplement empire, he has established himself as the authority on nutrition and longevity. But what his followers don't know is that his products are laced with bizarre psychoactive substances from genetically modified plants developed in his very own secret lab. No wonder his customers can't stop using them. Tyler Belknap will stop at nothing to keep his edge in the market, even if it means experimenting on children. Chasing 120, a story of food, faith, fraud, and the pursuit of longevity, a novel from the pen of political cartoonist Monty Wolverton, is an easy and entertaining read full of rich characters and intrigue. It hits home in a world filled with all kind of hucksterism and offers a glimpse of what can happen when GMO technology falls into the wrong hands. Chasing 120 by Monty Wolverton. Get your copy today at www.ptm.org/120 or on Amazon.com.
Nita Hickok is an expert in exorcisms, psychic warfare, soul healing, angelology, soul retrieval, demonology, energy healing, long-distance healing, astral healing, and much more. Nita is an interfaith minister because she believes all gods and goddesses are valid and that they are part of one divine force that is incomprehensible to us who are incarnated upon this earth. Nita has been doing astral healing, distant healing, spirit release, exorcism, house cleansing and blessings, soul restoring and revival, psychic vampire removal and curse removal, and much more for over 40 years. For more information or to contact Nita Hickok, visit her website at www.astralhealer.com. That's www.astralhealer.com.
Rob McConnell here, presenting an overview for Nicholas Paul Jennings, author of a fascinating book, Amen. It presents facts revealed by Egyptologists, facts that enable us to understand why Amen is the beginning of creation of God. It provides recommendations for religious leaders of the major religions to unify their beliefs and teach the Word of God. Love one another. Amen informs people how mankind conceived God. It was the Egyptians that developed the concepts of a soul, a hereafter, and Son of God. And finally, after the worship of many gods, they conceived the belief in one universal God, the maker of all there is. For more information, visit www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. My name is Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My guest this hour is the one and only love psychic, Jill Dahne. Her website is jilldahne.com, and that's JILLDAHNE.com. First of all, Jill, as always, a great pleasure talking to you. It's whenever you're on the show, it's such a great feeling because not only do I talk to you on air, but I consider you to be one of my very dearest friends. I'd like to say something for all the members of the X-Zone Nation who have listened to you here on the X-Zone over the years. Thank you for all you do. And thank you for touching so many hearts in such a positive way. You're a light in the tunnel.
Oh, the feeling's mutual, and it's right back at you. Your listeners are so wonderful, and they mirror off of you. So thank you for having me on. Can I also say that everybody, my horoscopes are in Nothing But Good News magazine, and they could go online to see the horoscopes, because a lot of people have been saying, I want to see the horoscopes, and they've been in there for the past 4 months. So it's a whole month of horoscopes that I did.
What's the website, hon?
Nothing But Good News magazine.
Nothing But Good News magazine. Is it .com?
.com.
Super.
Because I only like good news.
So that's nothingbutgoodnewsmagazine.com.
.com.
What's ahead for Jill Dahne? Do you have a lot of TV appearances, radio appearances? Are you going out and giving lectures?
Yes, I will be back in New York in August. I'll be in the city. I'll be posting it on my blog on JillDahneBlogspot.com. I just finished ABC News Worldwide, and I'm going to be doing NBC when I go up there. So that's a big thing. And finally, Rob, my book is finished, finally.
Wow.
Finally. Yes, finally. It's Jill Dahne's Healing Quotes for the Soul, and it's in a few people's hands right now, 222. So, and then the other book just, is in a one person's hand. But they just had me a publisher. I don't want to say it yet, but it's going to be Let's Talk About Love. And that's the book that I'm in the process of doing right now. That's going to be on the newsstands for February.
Fascinating.
In the bookstores for February.
Just in time for Valentine's.
Just in time for Valentine's, yes. For 2016, so I'm excited. I have to hurry up and write it.
Wow.
But that's what's in the works right now. And my radio show. I've had it 20 years.
My goodness. And what stations is your radio show on?
It's on 1470 AM. And then people that are not in Florida, because that's live in Florida.
Yeah.
And on the internet, it's www.wwnnradio.com.
Is that in Daytona Beach?
No, that's in Boca, Florida. Boca. I started that show with Chuck Zink. May he rest in peace. Skipper Chuck.
Listen, sweetheart, you and I have to say so long for tonight. I'd like to say thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for all you do. Please give my very best to your mom and also my very best to your son.
I will, and thank you for always having me and always being so wonderful, and I can't wait for your show to come out. Thank you.
Jill, take care of yourself. Look forward to having
God
you back
bless
on.
you.
God bless you too, my dear friend. Love and light to you, Jill.
I
Exonation.
love you.
Jill Dahne has been my special guest this hour. Her website is JillDahne.com. That's JillDahne.com. And we're going to put all the links to the information that Jill gave us tonight on our website at XZoneRadioTV.com. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news at 6.5 minutes past the top of the hour as we continue here in the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.